This is a Warhammer miniature. It is a single Space Marine, my first. He's about 2 inches tall and absolutely dripping with detail. This specific one cost me around $40, and he came in a set with some friends. It took me a solid 9 hours to paint him, hunched over my desk, meticulously applying thin layers of paint. And in that time, my ADHD brain decided that this little guy, this entire universe of grimdark sci-fi fantasy, is now my entire personality. Welcome to ADHDoes, the show where I get way too obsessed with random niche hobbies and then for some reason, I drag you down the rabbit hole with me. Don't say I didn't warn you. It all started so innocently. A friend online suggested a book to read, the Eisenhorn Omnibus. Turns out it's actually a compendium of several books and novellas, about 944 pages in total. My brain, always hungry for the next big thing, latched on tight. I read the entire thing in 3 days. A small spark had been ignited, and then it became a raging wildfire. Over the next few weeks, I read another 3,000 pages or so, and picked up the Warhammer 40k starter set from my local game store. That single box led to a casual Google search, which led to another. And another, and now I have 87 browser tabs open, a massive pile of unpainted plastic sprues, and I can recite the first era of the Horus Heresy like it's my own family tree. Seriously, ask me about the flight of the Einstein. I dare you. Everything else, work, chores, eating, has taken a backseat to the glorious painted plastic. So what is Warhammer 40k? At its core, it's a tabletop war game. You buy these little plastic dudes, the minis, you spend hours painstakingly painting them, then you get together with other people and fight their little plastic dudes. Sounds simple, right? Just a fun little game. Well, wrong. This isn't just a game. It's a sprawling, unbelievably dense universe. Let me give you a taste of the lore that has consumed my every waking moment. You've got the Emperor of Mankind, a psychic demigod who has been fused to the Golden Throne for 10,000 years, a living corpse just holding back the tide of demons. Got the Orks, a race of brutish green-skinned creatures who can literally believe technology into existence. Their guns work because they believe they will. And don't even get me started on the Eldar, a hyper-advanced psychic race who basically partied so hard they created a chaos god of pleasure and pain. Of course, it's not all about the lore. To truly commit, you have to embrace the hobby side, and that means painting. I fell down a deep, dark rabbit hole of painting tutorials. I've watched at least 12 hours of video on advanced techniques like wet blending and non-metallic metal. I have a small library's worth of knowledge on how to make little plastic men look like they're made of shiny steel. And after all that study, all those tutorials, do you want to know my secret? I am not wet blending. I barely thin my paints. Nope. I'm dry brushing like a medieval peasant with a broom. It is fast and messy and it gets the job done. Don't judge me. There is a lot of plastic that needs painting and I am only one man with a family. Ooh, and we haven't even talked about the cost. Every little pot of paint is a few bucks. Every brush is a small fortune. And the miniatures themselves? Well, that single $40 miniature was just the start. Let's just say my wallet has seen better days. The hobby is amazing, but it's also a fantastic way to go broke while learning about tiny plastic dudes. But then, the inevitable crash. 3 months in, I'm knee-deep in this obsession. My desk is a complete wreck. I haven't touched laundry, and my brain is a little fuzzy from all the lore, painting, and probably way too many glue fumes. I've learned how to play an incredibly complex game that I have no one nearby to actually play with, nor any time remaining to actually play. But hey, at least I know what a Baneblade is. And for those of you who don't know, it's a giant fortress-like tank with enough firepower to level a city. And I know I need one. So that's this week's Hyperfocus, Warhammer 40k. The lore is insane, the miniatures are addictive, and the community is a perfect mix of artists, nerds, and masochists. It's been a wild ride, and I'm definitely not out of the woods yet. I still have 87 browser tabs open after all. But who knows what's next? My brain is already looking for the next thing to latch onto. Next week could be lockpicking, medieval siege weapons, or maybe even the intricate world of fountain pens. The possibilities are endless. So if you want to fall into the rabbit hole with me, be sure to subscribe, because my ADHD doesn't give me an off-ramp and I really don't want to go down alone.